And joining us once again, it is Jake Arthur here on Locked On Buckeyes. Jake Arthur from Sports Illustrated covers the Indianapolis Colts, for Sports Illustrated. Jake, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm awesome, man. Thanks so much for having me.
No problem. I got to ask you one question very quickly before we get to Parris Campbell. I love hats. I have like 30 in my closet. Is that hat from brandedbills.com?
It is. Yep.
Okay.
I've got two of them. This light gray one. I've got a dark gray one also.
I have a black one in the back and then the gray on the front. And it has like a black and gray Indiana, the state symbol, symbol on the front, just like yours. Just yours blue and gold looks a whole lot better. Might have to hop on that train. Is that something? My brother's wedding was about a week ago, and my cousin saw my hat, and she was like, "I like that hat. Where'd you get it?" And another cousin said the same thing. I told them where I got the hat, and so I saw yours. I was like, maybe it's the same place I got mine. Branded Bills has a lot of good stuff.
They do, yeah. I'm probably not done shopping there, I'm sure, but the two hats I've got have lasted me a while. I wear this all the time.
I might have to add it to my collection here very, very soon. We hit Tyquan Lewis just a couple days ago. We're here with Parris Campbell now. Parris Campbell, a guy 2 years with the Indianapolis Colts, unfortunately only played 9 games. How have you assessed the abnormal start to Parris Campbell's career in the NFL?
Yeah, his is so frustrating because when he's healthy and on the field, he's an obvious playmaker. He displays everything that they drafted him for. You see it right away. You don't have to wonder what the Colts were thinking when they drafted him. As a runner, pass catcher, he's done kickoffs. He's been compared before to like how the Vikings used to like to use Percy Harvin, and you see it. It's just so frustrating because he just keeps getting injured, and it's just stuff that's out of his control, and they're not quick injuries either. He was a pretty healthy guy at Ohio State. A lot of people call him injury prone and stuff. I mean, which is fair because he has obviously been prone to injuries since he's come to the NFL. But again, he was healthy at Ohio State, and he's getting a lot of fluky stuff that requires like procedures. He's had a broken foot, a broken hand, sports hernia surgery. He had that knee issue last year from someone hitting him at an odd angle in the knee. All of that is out of his control. He's not getting all these soft tissue injuries and, poorly conditioned or anything like that. So that's just been really frustrating. We all hope so badly that he can string together a full season this year.
Really hope so. And the Colts wide receiver, the group that they have with Michael Pittman Jr. and then Zach Pascal and T.Y. Hilton, Parris Campbell can be utilized in a great way with that team. Unfortunate the injury to Carson Wentz. I did hear rumblings that he may start week 1, which would be amazing for all the Colts fans out there. But Parris Campbell can be utilized and to kind of be a special type of athlete that I don't think any of the other 3 receivers that I've mentioned are. If he stays healthy, what can we expect from Parris Campbell this season?
Yeah, so I'm kind of looking at last year and the brief period he was there as a little snapshot. So he led the team with 6 catches for 71 yards in week 1, and then he got hurt week 2 on an end around. I would think that he would probably wind up with 60 catches. I don't want to give him anything gaudy like 80, 90 or anything, but I think they'd probably want to get him about 60 catches. He would have, I would think, at least 15 or 20 carries because they like to use him that way too. Frank Reich has not been secretive at using Parris Campbell. He loves him. And when he's been out there for those 9 games, they get him the ball a lot. So the competition for getting the ball is a little better than it has been. Michael Pittman's going to need some. They've got 3 tight ends, Nyheim Hines, Jonathan Taylor, Marlon Mack. So there's a lot of mouths to feed, and that offense doesn't just operate through one guy. They like to spread it around. So I think he'll still get the ball quite a bit if he's healthy. And, man, I think he averages over 8 yards per touch for his career so far, running and receiving. So probably something in that same ballpark. But, man, during training camp, he's looked good. His route running especially, he's got such sudden movements, and he leaves guys in the dust, and he's doing it again during this training camp. So he looks like he's in mid-season form, so I'm ready to see him out there.
How does a new quarterback utilize a weapon like Campbell when Campbell has not been a big piece of the offense and the continuity of the offensive group before?
That's tough to say because Carson, he's been injured, so you don't really know who his favorite guys are. I would imagine Michael Pittman is probably going to be his guy if I had to guess. But he's tried to form chemistry with all of those guys. They threw their before OTAs when Carson was traded for, obviously during OTAs, in between OTAs and training camp, they all got together. So there's a little bit of chemistry there. It's got to be a total wait and see. We just don't know. Like Phillip Rivers last year, we all kind of assumed T.Y. Hilton or Michael Pittman would probably be his guy, even Jack Doyle. The first guy he really meshed with was Mo Alley Cox. And, no one really necessarily said that was going to happen right away. So you just really don't know. Parris Campbell, if he runs a little more intermediate and downfield stuff, might gel with Carson Wentz quite a bit. I think he's going to get his touches regardless, but it's tough to say until we see Carson out there too.
That's true. Do you have any last comments about Parris Campbell going into the season?
Man, I just can't say anything except for I hope he stays healthy because he is such a playmaker when he is. It's an element to this offense that I just really can't remember the Colts having in a while. You've had Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison, who were more traditional receivers. Same thing with T.Y. Hilton. Hilton and Harrison could, do the long ball and things like that. I'm trying to think of the last time the Colts had someone with Parris Campbell's skill set and how they plan to use him. And it's been a while, if ever.
It has been. Jake, people on YouTube can see your Twitter handle. People that are listening cannot. This is the last time Jake will be with us on our Buckeye Road Trip around the NFL. Could you let those listeners, the audio listeners, know where they can find you on Twitter and let everyone know they can catch all your work covering the Indianapolis Colts for Sports Illustrated?
Yep. So you can find me on Twitter and Facebook at Jake Arthur NFL. Horseshoehuddle.com. You can also just go to si.com and go to their Colts coverage. But I'm just pouring a whole lot of content into there right now. Training camp still in the thick of it. Still got about another 8 days, I think. Or 8 more practices, 6, something like that. Still got about a week or so regardless. But yeah, it's there's a lot going on right now, and the season's going to be here before all of us know it. So if you're looking for some Colts coverage, hopefully I can be your guy.
Hope so, Jake Arthur. This has been a lot of fun helping us continue to Buckeye Road Trip around the NFL, hitting Tyquan Lewis and Parris Campbell. Thank you for coming on the podcast, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much for having me.